Hello, unlimited friends. It's Zara back again with another question about the practical application of the law of attraction to our lives. The question today comes from Patricia, and her question is, I just came home from visiting my dad in my home country. While I was there, I said things to my dad that I now regret. I was low on the emotional scale at the moment, and my conversation and behavior with him caused him to be sad and worry about me and made our time together really unpleasant. How do I deal with the shame and regret that I feel right now? Patricia, you are not alone. I'm putting my arms around you and sending you lots of love. First of all, we're going to get into your question, and before I do that, I just want to do a short introduction. For those of you who are returning to my channel, thank you for your support. It means a lot to me. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Zara Mahoon. I write the blog zmahoon.com. On this channel, it is my objective to answer questions that will help you to apply the law of attraction in practical ways to your life. If you would like to find out more about my work or send me a question, you can visit my website zmahoon.com, and you can check out my author page on Amazon. All right, let's get into it. So, Patricia, the thing is, people with whom we have history, meaning that we've had interactions with them before, we have triggers about them because we have not given up our beliefs about who they are. And so what happens is when you go back there and you visit again, the trigger goes off and it takes you way back into the past, and usually not in a pleasant way. That is what happened to you, my dear. There are things in your past that you probably hold your father responsible for, and you've not forgiven him for these things. But you have to understand now, with your newfound knowledge of the law of attraction, that everything is about attraction. Your father didn't do anything to you. He wasn't unfair to you. You attracted all of that behavior from him based on your vibration. Yes, he should not have done those things, but then again, you should not have attracted them. It's always like meets like. That is law of attraction. There is no other way about it. Now, I know that you feel shame and regret because that is what you've written in your message to me. But again, I want to say to you that you are not responsible for how your father feels. You could say whatever you say to him, all sorts of unpleasant things, and he should have the ability to still respond to you with love. You are not responsible for his inability to manage his emotional state. You are only ever responsible for your own emotional state. So that's the first thing I want you to know, is that you're not responsible for how he feels. You are, however, responsible for the way you feel. And you just now are feeling shame and regret. And I am going to tell you that regret is the most useless emotion of all. Regret is not a helpful emotion, because regret tries, or the emotion of regret says, I wish I had done it differently, or I wish I could go back and change what I did. And neither one of those are possible. The only way is to go forward. And when you go forward, two things happen. One, you change your perception of the past. And number two, you create a future reality that helps you to make whatever situation it is, make it better, stronger, better than it has ever been before. And so we are looking at doing two things here. One, changing your perception of the past, and two, helping you create a better relationship with your father going forward. which involves forgiving yourself. All right. So all the things that I said to you before apply to changing your perception of what has already happened. By saying things like, I'm not responsible. Yes, I take responsibility that I contributed to the issue, but it was up to him how he received it, because he had the option to receive it with a lot of love. And he had the option to stay stable high on the emotional scale and help you come up the emotional scale as well. Right? Now, if that didn't happen, that's okay, because his behavior is not what we are here to look at. We are only here to look at your side of things. But we are trying to make you feel better about the things that have already happened, right? And so to say to yourself, it's okay that this happened. It just tells me, what does it tell me? It tells me that I have more work to do. I have more cleaning up to do with respect to my relationship with my father. And I am willing and able to do that work. I have much better understanding of the law of attraction and how it works. And I understand now what I need to change. It's okay that I can't change the past, because it doesn't matter anyway. Because what matters is the future relationship I create with my father. That is the most important thing. And I know that anything is possible. And so I am open to believing that my relationship with my father moving forward can be the best ever that it has ever been, and it can continue to improve with every passing day. So now that takes care of feeling better about what has happened. The next thing you have to do is to actually create a better relationship with your father. And in order to do so, I want you to know that you don't ever need to say anything to him. But what you have to do is to send him your positive vibration. You see, regret will hold you low down on the emotional scale. So the thing that you have to do is to let go that regret right now, this minute, it's gone, and start appreciating. Start appreciating. Think about the positive aspects of who your father is. Try to see him not as a daughter first, but as a person. Your father has friends, has people around him, has lived a full life. What would people say about him? Those are the things that you need to remind yourself. You need to say things like, he's probably a really nice person. It's just that I've never really given him a chance. And universe, I am willing now to do the work to find out who my father has the potential of being, the capability of being. And I am going to be the first one to open my heart up and send him love. Because I know that when I send him love, love fixes everything. Love is the solution for everything. Love solves all problems. And so, you see, regret and love cannot occupy your heart, your emotions at the same point in time, because they are opposing vibrations. So you've got to give up the regret and replace it with love. Find in your memory, if you can, moments where you really did feel absolute true love for your father, and reignite that feeling, that emotion in your heart. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is to ignite love in your heart for something or someone else. And when you feel that feeling, now take that feeling and bring your father into it. So, for example, you could feel love for your son, and when your love is freely flowing and you are talking about your son in the most amazing, appreciative words, now you bring your father into that discussion and you say, and I also feel the same way, or want to feel this same way, this type of love for my father. And just now I send my father a big blast of love. And when you do that, your emotions towards your father will change. I promise you, you just have to do it for 10 days. How you feel about this whole situation will change. And then after 10 days, you've been sending him vibration. He is receiving it. Whether or not you speak to him, he is receiving it. And now, if you like, you can go and open dialogue with your father. And you can say to him, I know that our last interaction was not what either one of us wanted it to be. But I have thought about it, and I have come to the conclusion that it does not matter what has happened in the past. What I want you to know is that I do care about you. You are of value to me, and I want our future relationship to be better and stronger than it has ever been before. And that's it. Now you've done your part, and it's up to him. And you've got to pre-pave this conversation, and you have got to tell yourself that regardless of whichever direction it goes as far as he is concerned, you are going to maintain your place high on the emotional scale. You are going to make sure that you do not slip back down. And that's all there is to it, sweetheart. We all slip up. We all have these instances where we behaved in a way that we don't want to behave anymore based on our knowledge of law of attraction. And I want you to know that nothing ever goes wrong. All of these experiences are guidance. This manifestation is also guidance that is helping you to understand better what you should do in the future. And so, in closing, I'm going to recommend to you, and I know you already have the unlimited 40-day law of attraction workbook for manifesting. Do not stop doing the workbook. The workbook has essential, very basic tools that we must use on a daily basis in order to keep our vibration high. If you were doing the workbook, chances are this would not happen, because doing the exercises in the workbook helps you to establish your vibrational priorities. And so, even though it is still possible to deviate from those priorities based on momentum, the situation, but you will always return to them, and you will return to them really quickly. And the other thing, Patricia, I want to recommend to you, if you haven't already done so, which I don't remember really, is to see if the 16 fundamental principles for manifesting short course might help you to revisit or to really understand the basics of how law of attraction is supposed to be used in order for you to get better and better and better at getting success at manifesting. So the 3 tools that I recommend everyone should have is the Unlimited Workbook, the 16 Fundamental Principles course, and the Heart and Mind Alignment Method course. So check them out. The links are in the description below. Check out these tools, and if they resonate with you, go ahead, go through the material, and then if you have questions to help you to apply the material to your life, you know that you can always message me. All right, take care, Patricia, and take care, everyone. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.